Welcome back. This session we will see some basics of routing algorithms. The main function of the network layer is routing packets from the source machine to the destination machines, right? Obviously these packets have to travel through the subnet also. So selecting the route for this transmission and the data structures that they use are a major area of network layer design, and the routing algorithm is the part of the network layer software which is responsible for deciding which output line an incoming packet should be transmitted on. And these are the topics we have to discuss. The optimality principle, the principle which is used for selecting different routes, then different routing techniques like shortest path routing, flooding, distance vector routing and link state routing. And then two specific protocols, those are routing information protocols RIP and open shortest path first protocol, that is OSPF. Then we will discuss about routing for mobile hosts. So as you have seen, this routing algorithm is responsible for deciding which output line to use for each incoming packet, right? And we have learned that two different types of services are offered by this network layer. It can be connectionless service like datagram subnet, and it can be connection oriented service, that is virtual circuit subnet. So in the case of datagram subnet, this decision should be taken anew for every arriving packet, right? Because different packets of the same source destination pair may use different route or different path. Whereas in case of virtual circuit subnet, such a decision should be taken only at the time of a new circuit setup. Once the connection is established, all the packets from the same source to same destination will travel along that particular virtual circuit. Okay. So that is also called session routing. Just for example, file transfer and all. If you log in into a particular website, and if you are downloading a file, when the time of login, at connection will be established, that virtual circuit will be established, and the complete file will be transferred along that particular way. So at the initially the routing algorithm will find out a route. Okay, so it will be there until the complete file transfer is over. Once this operation is over, that virtual circuit will be terminated. So this can be called as session routing. Each router can be considered as having two different processes. Okay, first one handles each packet. Okay, as it arrives, receive that packet, parse that packet to find out the destination address, then looking up the corresponding routing table to find the outgoing line. So this process can be called as forwarding. And the second one responsible for filling and updating the routing table. So there comes the routing algorithms. Now what are the different properties of routing algorithms? The main properties are correctness. Such a property is actually implicit, right? A routing decision always should be correct. That is, every packet should be delivered to the intended recipient only. And the second one is it should be simple. That means the routing decision should be done in a simple manner. It should not be a complex algorithm which take a lot of time to take a decision. And the third one is robustness. Robust in the sense, once a network is established, it is expected to run for a long time, years and years, without system-wide failures. During this period, there can be a lot of failures like hardware failure, like router can be crashed, or some nodes may be failed, or links can be failed, or topologies may be changed. Lot of changes and failures can be there, but the routing algorithm should be able to cope up with these changes in the topology and traffic without requiring all the jobs in all the hosts to be aborted and the network to be rebooted every time such changes occurs. Next property is stability. Stability in the sense, as you know, this network configuration may change a number of times during its lifetime, right? So each time such a change happens, these routing algorithms should be invoked to accommodate these changes. Like new routes may have to be added, or existing route may have to be updated. Like a lot of changes will be there. Anyway, this routing algorithm should be settled down fastly. That is, the network should reach a stable state fastly. Stable in the sense, it should be able to find an optimal route, or at least a fair route for all source destination pairs within a short time. Next is fairness and then optimality. These two goals are actually contradictory. Fairness means every source destination pair should be given a fair chance for communication. Starvation won't be there. That's fairness. And the second one is optimality, means efficiency in terms of throughput and packet delay. So for a good algorithm, total network throughput should be maximum, while the mean packet delay should be minimum. So definitely those two are always contradictory. We can see an example for that. Just for example, suppose this is a network configuration and there's an enormous traffic from A to A dash, B to B dash and C to D dash. Suppose that is the condition now. To maximize the total flow, the traffic from X to X dash should be shut off. Otherwise the total network throughput will be affected. But this completely compromises the fairness policy, right? This policy is not at all fair to the pair X to X dash. So these are the different properties of routing algorithm. Now let us move on to an important principle used in routing, that is called optimality principle. Whatever may be the network topology or the current traffic over the network, we can define an optimal route in a general way. Okay, and that is called optimality principle, and it states that if router J is on the optimal path from router I to router K, then the optimal path from J to K also falls along the same route. Now let us apply this optimality principle on this network to verify its correctness. Suppose using some routing algorithm, it is found that the optimal route from B to I is through this path BCI. Okay, and suppose from C to I the optimal path is along this way CJI. That means CJI is better than CI. In that case we could have definitely taken this path to find the optimal route for B to I, right? BCJI. But we have already found that the optimal route from B to I is through BCI. So this is a contradiction, right? That means if the path optimal route from B to I is through C, then optimal route from C to I always will be along the same route. No other way will be better than this subroute. Okay, and that is optimality principle. As a consequence of this optimality principle, we have a new term called sync tree. Sync tree is actually a set of optimal routes from all sources to a particular destination. Here B is the destination from all other routers, which is the optimal route. Such a path is called, and such a set of routes is called a sync tree. So in case of a routing algorithm, the main goal is to discover and use the sync trees for all routers. From taking each router as a destination, find a sync tree for that router. Using that, it can find the optimal route for any source destination pair. Now let us move on to the different routing algorithms. Before that, we can categorize the routing algorithms into two different groups. One is non-adaptive routing and the second one is adaptive routing. Non-adaptive is also called static routing algorithm and adaptive is also called dynamic routing algorithm. So in case of non-adaptive routing, current topology or current traffic is not considered. Instead, the routes from different source destination pairs are computed in advance, and all those information will be downloaded into different routers at the time of network booting itself. It won't change later according to the current traffic and all. Whereas in case of adaptive routing algorithms, current topology, current traffic, such things will be considered to take new routing decisions. So this type of information will be exchanged between different routers to update their routing tables. So always this algorithm is dynamic in nature. So we will see different categories of algorithms in both of these two groups. Main methods in non-adaptive routing is shortest path routing and flooding, and whereas in case of adaptive, distance vector routing and link state routing are the main different types. We will see these routing techniques in forthcoming sessions. Thank you.